Have you ever wanted to fight punk gangsters in a crime city set in what the 80s thought the future was? Well, now you can play as a half-man, half-machine in Robocop Rogue City, upholding the law with high-tech abilities and guns. Playing as Robocop in Old Detroit from a first-person perspective has its ups and downs. I'm here to give you the 411 on what to expect should you play the game yourself, and then rating the game, placing it on one of the lovely shelves behind me.
Disturbance? I'm a big fan. Now move!
Based off the iconic movie made in 1987, Robocop Rogue City starts out with a local gang trying to get the attention of a new guy in town looking for some business. The gang takes a local TV station hostage, and it's up to Robocop, half-man, half-machine law enforcer, to save the day. The TV station incident is the start of a long, drawn-out case that will take Robocop all over Old Detroit to solve.
Ready. I've got to go, but the party goes on.
Robocop Rogue City had a well-earned mature rating, with all the foul language and extreme graphics. I was surprised with how bloody the game ended up being. When shooting the bad guys, depending on where you hit them, their heads will pop with a nasty squish, or their body parts could go flying while they scream about it. Robocop was morbidly satisfying, but probably best played with the kids in the other room. A lot of the game will be spent taking down ne'er-do-wells as they break the law and think they can actually beat Robocop. The fighting areas will have plenty of bad guys trying to shoot you from all angles with a couple walls for you to hide behind. Robocop did not have the ability to crouch, so there will be no hiding behind short cover to catch your breath.
Did you get it from a different book?
No, from experience.
Robocop Vision has a plethora of uses throughout the game. When walking the streets, you can use it to focus on suspicious areas to identify if a crime is being committed, or maybe a hidden switch that opens a secret door you need to go through. It can also be used in combat, highlighting enemies and other useful targets while aiming your gun, lowering the bullet spread when shooting. You'll always have Robocop's fancy Auto 9 with infinite ammo and modifiable parts, but sometimes you may want to try something else out. All the enemies you beat will drop the gun they're carrying, allowing you to pick it up and start using it. You'll only be able to carry one additional gun at a time with a limited amount of ammo, but you can pick more up if you find the same gun lying on the ground. There will be a lot of guns to choose from and play with, depending on the enemies.
Resourceful.
Thanks, but I'd say it was a team effort.
Sometimes guns just don't feel like the right way to go. That's when you need to pick up a computer, chair, even sometimes a dumpster, and throw it at your enemies. Throwing a computer at an enemy is so satisfying, and honestly feels like the strongest weapon in the game. The item does get destroyed in the process, but more often than not, so does the bad guy. My favorite game was picking up a motorcycle and using it to clothesline bad guys coming at me on their own bikes. As you progress through the game, you'll find different PCBs you can install on your sidearm. The PCBs will need to be equipped with chips to bring power to different abilities and improvements. You'll find random chips and chests throughout the game, each with different percentages or directions they can go. You can only have one PCB equipped at a time, but you can have them all loaded with the same chips to figure out what would work best for you.
Yes, practice makes perfect. Let us not waste any more time.
Everything you do will give you a few experience points. After you gain 1,000, you get 1 skill point. The skill points will be used to increase Robocop's abilities, like increased defense or more experience points gained. Your different skill levels will also offer new response choices and conversations. Each branch comes with 3 total abilities, requiring you to use points in blank spots to get far enough in for the reward.
From now on, your performance will be monitored and graded. So better be on.
At the end of each big story mission, you will be evaluated on how many side missions you finished, how well you may have done in a random competition, and how much evidence you found during the mission. I ended up getting a B more than anything, but if you can get better grades, you gain more experience at the end, rewarding quite a few skill points if you're good enough.
I serve the public trust. I do not do it for fame.
No.
The main directives of Robocop will be to uphold the law and gain the trust of the public. But that is a very tough road to travel. You will constantly be asked to choose between issuing a ticket or letting a crime slide. It depends on what kind of character you want to play. Very black and white, almost robotic. Or showing a little compassion and being a friend to the people.
Just my feet.
You are free to go, but no,
I think I got it.
you are responsible for that security breach.
I'm trying to save people's homes.
Robocop is full of choices to be made with almost every interaction. How you decide to play will change how important characters act around you and how the city will perceive you. Do you want to be a cold-blooded robot that gets the job done? Or would you like to act more human and understand the world around you? These choices could affect how your story is told and how your friends end up.
I am not doing this as a police officer. I am doing it as a friend.
It was cool playing a game based off of a movie from the 80s and what they thought the future may look like. Everyone had the iconic hair, and the computers looked nothing like they do today. There was even a VHS rental store in the game. It was great. One thing that really bothered me though was the fact that a majority of the characters' mouths didn't seem to render properly, causing the inside of their mouth to look connected, covering teeth. Other than that, the characters looked alright. I was very surprised by how gory the game ended up being. Not that it was a bad thing. I did get a kick out of the various sound effects with the carnage. The game did not hold back when it came to gruesome deaths. It was an entertaining story about Robocop chasing a big, mean bad guy, but they involved a little too much of the boring stuff involved in a police case. Questioning everybody, hunting down clues, and helping with the smallest problems. I enjoyed the fighting. It did feel a little stiff, and it was very hard to get over the fact that Robocop couldn't crouch, but blowing up bad guys is a lot of fun. It did start to get a little weird near the end, with bad guys teleporting underground and could still shoot me, or standing stiff where they died, not moving at all, but still looking like they're about to attack. There was a small replayability factor with the game having different choices to make and seeing how things turned out, and it didn't take long to beat. I finished around 12 hours and I didn't skip a whole lot of the side missions. So you could go through it a couple times and make different choices in just a couple of days. I don't think I'd want to go through the busy work again to see it though. I liked the simplicity behind getting skill points. By getting 1,000 experience points or finding special items, it never got more difficult. There were a lot of different choices for skills though. Trying to decide what was more important at the time and work toward it was time consuming. And the Auto 9 minigame, so to speak, placing chips and PCBs to get the best possible output from the main gun was fun, but it still never seemed to get awesome. I found myself having to grab the guns off of dead bodies a lot more than using my pistol. It was handy always having it available with infinite ammo, but it never hit hard enough to take tougher enemies out in a timely fashion. And now, it's time to convert these thoughts into numbers. Visuals, getting a 2. The story was good enough to earn a 3. Gameplay had its ups and downs, coming in at a 2. Replayability for me wasn't great, but kind of there. That's a 2. Total amount of fun, just say it's a 3. Giving Robocop Rogue City an average score of 2.4, earning it a spot right there on the mid shelf. There are a lot of reviews out there praising this game. I don't think I saw what they did. There were fun moments. Some even seemed really funny, but I don't think that's what they were going for. I would say best wait for a sale to check this game out. And now that I'm done with this, it's time to move on to the next one. I will see you there. Bye.